lot of chatter around how Hong Kong is going to be really the test bed here. How much of an appetite do you think China has in this stablecoin initiative? Is it because they just don't want to lose out to the US dollar linked stablecoin system?
I think any kind of initiative that is PBOC driven, that is government driven, will obviously go ahead, but anything private is a total no-no.
While there were many bright spots, there were enough negatives to offset any talk of a potential trade deal with China or the strength of the economic data or the continual parade of takeovers that would have been blocked by that previous administration. They wouldn't even thought about doing them. And that's why the Dow lost 205 points, the S&P dipped 0.3%, and the Nasdaq declined 0.38%. In fact, on the eve of a wait-and-see Fed meeting, there was enough negativity about some parts of the economy, especially the consumer, that you might wonder if Jay Powell should simply do what the president wants and cut interest rates. Only some strength in a handful of industrials and techs seem to cut in favor of standing pat today. You know what? That might not be enough. Let me start with the negatives because they are visible, they matter, and they cut President Trump's way. Today, 3 very big household name companies reported jarring quarters that made me feel like the stock market's becoming divorced from some real problems out there. Problems that should have been obvious given all the tariff turmoil.
If you buy up all of a certain asset, you certainly have price control. Is that the ultimate goal here? Because this stuff is not being bought and sold necessarily. It's just being bought and held.
I think really the issue here is the way that these assets are being bought. There's a lot of capital raising. If you look at the investors participating in this, it's primarily people who've already created wealth in crypto or who own locked tokens that they want to monetize, right, by contributing them to these vehicles and being able to capture 2-3x value through this premium these assets trade at. I think the bigger risk here, though, to investors who are potentially engaging in this market is the debt overhang. Some of these companies are issuing or raising via debt. And right now we're in this very ebullient, very exciting crypto market. There's a lot of price volatility, a lot of enthusiasm around forward price trajectory going into the second half of the year. I think the real challenge will be what happens in an environment where prices decline and some of these debt obligations could potentially exceed the underlying value of the assets held within these treasury companies. So just a lot of unique, I think, incentives here at play. Just like anything else in crypto, we love to beat a horse to death, so I expect we'll see another 100 in the next month.
Well, China's going to be tough.
All day.
We only got 30 seconds, but China's going to be tougher.
Always.
Yeah.
China is their own thing. We have our own team working with China. They're their own thing. I'll leave the people who are working with China right now to give you a briefing on what they've accomplished and where they are. I'll leave it to them. But for the rest of the world, we're going to have things done by Friday. And Friday is not that far away, so you should expect, we said, August 1st is the date that we're setting all these rates, and they are off to the races after that.
Listen, Frank, there's a lot going on at UPS, right? First, you're losing 50% of Amazon business over the 6 quarters, right? So by mid next year, they're going to have lost 50%. They also lost the de minimis business, right? So all that low-cost e-commerce business that was coming from China. So you're talking about what can you do on the cost side to offset all that lost business. And so Carol has been, Tomei, the CEO, has been aggressively moving to cut costs. You mentioned the employees, they're closing facilities. They've never done that in UPS's life cycle. So just like FedEx, UPS making fast moves to try and cut costs to keep pace with the changing, shifting volume metrics out there.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And Hong Kong is definitely the test bed for China. We know Hong Kong is a straw man. And the mainland is going to stay private. They're going to use Hong Kong to deal with the rest of the world. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, and I told you that a long time ago. And we have Jim Cramer sounding the alarm, warning signs from earnings but the warning signs were already there. But we have a whole lot of manipulation going on. But now, guys, it's time to build a fourth industrial revolution. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but it's definitely time. So that means that markets are going to take a beating over time. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have the Michael Saylor blueprint. And we have all these treasuries, and like I stated, guys, it's definitely not going to end well, because we know anytime you over leverage, and then we also know what's going to happen to these U.S. treasuries. These corporations are going to take a beating. But remember, guys, this is part of a plan. It moves in phases. And we have Lucknick on China. The deal will be tough, but the other countries, they're going to have a deal by Friday. And all these tariffs are eventually going to be passed on to the consumer. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And it's not just UPS taking a beating. We know consumer habits are changing, and they're definitely breaking. And a lot of these corporations are about to go to the plan, and they're going to turn to the machines. It's time for liftoff, and they're going to land this economy in the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Kevin O'Leary on China and TikTok. And I told you, if TikTok goes black, we know for a fact the entertainment is about to begin, because TikTok controls a whole lot of information. We saw it during the C word. Information spread it like wildfire. And we know for a fact the NWO wants to control information. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Xi, and I know Trump would not do this to him, would never submit himself to the rotisserie chicken White House press conference. Never. That's never going to happen. And that is part of why this is so delicate, because there's a completely separate group of the administration negotiating with China now around all kinds of issues, including TikTok. Now, I'm one of the many people syndicating a purchase of whatever assets are coming out of there. There's so many moving parts to this, but there's one part that's not moving: midnight, September 17th. My assumption was last week, as many others assumed the same, that all Trump would do is punt it again for 90 days, claiming that it's part of a package with China, and it's just a pawn in this, and so we need to punt again. But many of the lawmakers who wrote this anti-spyware law, which exists on a bipartisan basis, are done. They're done. So what I think is going to happen now is we'll probably go dark on September 17th. And I'll tell you why this is a
TikTok will go dark.
Will go dark. I'm saying right now to
Not
you
Fox Business.
that it doesn't mean the negotiations stop for buying it, but I don't think Trump is going to punt it again for a bunch of reasons. Number one, I don't think he cares that much about it anymore. It used to be a big topic for him. It's at the bottom of the list. Number two, the people that wrote this law, Senator Cotton and everybody else, they're saying, "¿Qué pasa, hombre?" Like, what's going on here? How long can we keep punting this thing when it's illegal and there's a multi-billion-dollar fine that has not been addressed? But I think the real issue here is, and this is if you're a ByteDance shareholder, this is complicated as of this morning. ByteDance in the U.S. is only worth about 8.4% of the market cap of the U.S. TikTok is 8.4% of ByteDance's market cap. Okay. So if you're Xi and you have the super share, you don't give a damn. If you own the stock of ByteDance, you don't give a damn. It doesn't matter if it goes dark until today, because all of a sudden what those of us that are very involved in the TikTok deal are hearing, Canada says, wait a second, if it goes dark in the U.S., lights out in Canada. Then you're over in Europe. Other countries say, well, wait a minute, it must be spyware if the U.S. shut it off, just like India did. And slowly but surely, that market cap is being chiseled at one country at a time. And then all of a sudden, if you're a large shareholder of ByteDance, you're going, Chihuahua caramba, what's happening here? I'm going to get wiped out here. So now this is a domino effect of market cap. And if you're the buying syndicate, you're saying, how many people are going to leave the platform during the dark weeks of negotiation, because I can tell you right now, as of today, every single one of the businesses that represent around 11 billion of revenue there have contingency plans, including all of mine. This is the first week ever.
You'll move on.
This is the first week ever in my buying group on a digital buy, which we do every Tuesday, where TikTok is not the number one buy, because we got to get ready. We don't know what's going to happen September 17th. That's a hot time of the market for customer acquisition. Yeah. So we're making new deals with, everybody. So we got a lot. This is a great question, but what I just laid out for you is what's boiling in the cauldron. But the number one issue is I've got my ear to the track, and I'm listening to Cotton, and I'm saying, he's not going to put up with it. They're not going to extend it. And that's okay. It goes dark. It's gone dark before.
You don't think that there's going to be a tremendous outrage on the part of all the users of TikTok, and that's going to alarm politicians? I would think there's going to be such blowback.
We thought about that in India. You've got the case study. You know how long the blowback was? 5 days.
Right. People get over it.
Young people get over it real fast, and they find the next big thing. That's interesting. I mean, there's another Labubu out there somewhere. That's what's going to happen.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction; it was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, is time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.